Michigan. Not sure what it is. Any ideas? It is a large power transformer for stepping down high voltage to medium voltage. This is the type of massive transformer you would find in an electrical substation. The large fins on the side are radiators for cooling the oil that is inside the transformer. The large ceramic or glass things on top are the bushings, which are insulators that allow the high voltage power lines to be safely connected to the transformer's internal windings. This is a very large and critical piece of the electrical power grid infrastructure. My mom got a gift? My mom got this rubber ball that has a hole in the top, but no exit hole. She's convinced it holds a pen. I said, "No, Mom, let the beautiful strangers of the internet figure it out." This is a silicone ice mold, specifically for making large spherical ice balls. You would fill the mold with water through the small hole at the top and then place it in the freezer. The large spherical ice it creates melts much more slowly than traditional ice cubes, which makes it ideal for chilling drinks like whiskey or cocktails without diluting them quickly. The link shows a similar example. Your mom's pen-holding theory, while creative, is incorrect. These are heavy blue glass objects found in an old barn. They are solid, thick glass, domed at one end and lipped at the other with a square edge. There were quite a few in there. This looks like the glass lens or globe from a large, vintage brass nautical ship's navigation light. Large ships are required to display specific colored lights at night, red for the port side, green for the starboard side, and white for the masthead and stern. These lights are housed in very robust, weatherproof brass or bronze lanterns, and they use a thick, colored glass lens like this one, called a Fresnel lens, to focus the light into a bright, visible beam. These are the spare lenses for those large, heavy-duty ships' lights. Tree growth. Location: Ohio, USA. What the heck is this growth? It's not a hive, and it's been on this tree for at least the last 7 years. It's called a burl. A burl is a large, rounded, and often lumpy outgrowth on a tree's trunk or branch. It is formed from a mass of unsprouted bud tissue and is often the result of the tree undergoing some form of stress, such as an injury or an infection. The wood inside a burl has a very beautiful and highly figured swirled grain pattern, which makes it very valuable to woodworkers and artists for making bowls, furniture, and sculptures. It is a natural growth of the tree itself. Tiny things stuck to the wall. Sorry for the bad pictures. They were really small, and it was hard to get the camera to focus. These look like carpet beetle larvae. Carpet beetles are a common household pest. The small, hairy, caterpillar-like larvae are the destructive stage. They feed on a wide variety of natural fibers, including wool, fur, silk, and feathers, and can cause damage to carpets, clothing, and upholstered furniture. They also feed on accumulated dust, hair, and dead insects, so they are often found along baseboards or in undisturbed corners. Their presence indicates a pest issue that needs to be addressed. I found it a few years ago and still don't know what it is. It looks like some sort of stealth tool. It has a hole to place it on a key ring. The beveled end fits snugly into the rubber holder. It's a cleaning tool for a PAX 3 dry herb vaporizer. The PAX is a very popular brand of portable vaporizer. This multi-tool is a key accessory that comes with it. It is used for both packing the ground herb into the vaporizer's oven and for cleaning out the spent material after a session. The metal tool fits into the rubber holder, which can then be attached to a keyring. It is missing the small keyring that would hold the two parts together. I found this in a chess box. I think it's a game. What is it? This looks like a counter for dominoes or a small cribbage board. In the game of cribbage, players score points and track their progress by moving pegs along a series of holes on a board like this. Similarly, it could be used to keep score in other games like dominoes, where each dot on the board might represent 5 points. It is a simple analog scoring device for a variety of classic pub and parlor games. This is a solid aluminum pencil from Fisher brand found in my lab. There's no blade on the tip, nor is it a pen. I thought it was a pointer, but what exactly is it? It's for etching glass. This is a diamond scribe. The tip of this pencil is not graphite, but a very small, very hard industrial diamond. It is a tool used in laboratories and workshops to permanently mark or etch glass and ceramic labware, like beakers, flasks, and microscope slides. The diamond tip is hard enough to easily scratch the surface of the glass, creating a permanent label that won't wash off. Fisher Brand is a major supplier of laboratory equipment, and this is a common tool in their catalog. Odd government truck. I saw these on 287 in Texas a few weeks ago. There were 6 or 7 of them in a convoy. Any ideas? This is a vehicle used for nuclear material transport. Specifically, these are Safeguards Transporters, SGTs, operated by the Department of Energy's Office of Secure Transportation, OST. These highly modified, heavily armored semi-trucks are used to transport nuclear weapons, components, and special nuclear materials between military bases and government facilities. They always travel in a convoy with escort vehicles and are manned by heavily armed federal agents. It is one of the most secure ground transportation systems in the world. Mysterious ceiling dust? I had it pop up last year. The landlord searched the bathroom above and found no water. They used some special paint over it, and it was fine until it popped up again now. It looks like some type of mold or mildew. The fact that it came back after being painted over is a key sign. The special paint was likely a stain-blocking primer, like Kills, which covers the stain but does not solve the underlying problem. There is a source of moisture somewhere above this ceiling, a slow leak from the bathroom plumbing, a leak in the roof, or condensation, that is allowing this mold or mildew to grow. The moisture issue must be found and fixed, or the mold will just keep coming back. Please help me find this exact model. It's a Ludwig 5-piece, maybe from 1960-70. This is a Ludwig quad modular drum kit, made in the 1980s. This was a unique and somewhat experimental design from Ludwig. The modular concept involved using these smaller individual drum shells that could be configured in various ways. This specific setup, with its 4 smaller tom-toms arranged in a square, was a signature look of that particular kit. It is a distinctive and somewhat rare drum set from a specific period in Ludwig's history. Found in my rooftop garden in New Delhi, India, what is this beautiful insect? This looks like an iridescent tortoise beetle. Tortoise beetles are a group of leaf beetles known for their often beautiful, metallic, or iridescent colors, and their somewhat flattened, tortoise-like shape. The larvae and adults feed on plants. The iridescent sheen on some species is a form of structural coloration, where microscopic structures on their cuticle interfere with light to produce the shimmering colors. In an elevator room, what is it? This is in an elevator room of a commercial building. The elevator man said it's unrelated to the elevator, and there is a smell of stale water coming from here. This is a sump pump. The elevator shaft often extends below the level of the basement floor into a pit. This pit can collect groundwater or water from fire sprinklers. A sump pump is a small automatic pump that sits in this pit. When the water level rises to a certain point, a float switch on the pump activates it, and it pumps the water out to a drain. The smell of stale water is because there is likely some standing water in the pit that the pump is sitting in. Funnel thing, found in my Mazda CX-9. What is it? It's called a speculum, and it's for an otoscope. An otoscope is the medical instrument that a doctor uses to look inside your ear canal. This small plastic funnel-shaped piece is the disposable tip that is attached to the end of the otoscope. The cone shape allows it to be inserted gently into the ear canal, and the doctor then looks through the otoscope to examine the eardrum. A new, clean speculum is used for each patient for hygiene. One was likely dropped in the car after a visit to the doctor. Found in my driveway after a fiber install, technicians ran a new fiber optic line to my house. It's a metal wire loop attached to an angled sheet metal bracket. This is a span clamp, or at least half of one. A tech must have dropped it. When an aerial fiber optic or cable TV line is run from the utility pole to a house, a span clamp is used to attach the drop cable to the main strand or to the house itself. It is designed to grip the cable securely and to provide a strong anchor point without damaging the delicate fiber optic cable inside. This is a common piece of hardware that was simply lost by the installation crew. I'm wanting to order a new shelf to match my own, but I can't find a logo or brand. The outer dimensions are 4 feet wide, 2 feet deep, and about 6 feet tall. This is a Whalen 008A Bapron. The commenter has the same one from when Costco was selling them a few years ago. This is a very common and popular style of heavy-duty industrial shelving rack, often sold at warehouse stores like Costco. They are known for their sturdy steel construction and are a popular choice for garage, workshop, or basement storage. Knowing the brand and model will make it much easier to find a matching unit. On my car this morning, I noticed these tiny things on my car this morning. Maybe eggs of some kind? I'm in South Louisiana. These are lacewing eggs. Lacewings are beneficial insects whose larvae are voracious predators of aphids and other garden pests. The female lacewing has a very distinctive way of laying her eggs. She lays each egg at the end of a long, thin, hair-like stalk. This elevates the eggs off the surface, which is thought to protect them from predators. It's a common and fascinating sight in gardens and yards. My mom brought me this from Colombia. If you press the little silver button, it opens the thing. What is it? It's a pill container. The commenter uses theirs to keep a couple of Aleve, Tums, and ginger pills. These small, often decorative, metal or plastic boxes with a spring-loaded latch are designed to be a convenient and stylish way to carry a small number of pills or other small items, like earrings, in a purse or a pocket. They are a very common and practical personal accessory. I found this on the ground while on a walk. What is it? This seems to be a replica collectible. The link provided shows an identical item, which is a modern replica of a 1823 King George IV medallion. It is not an authentic, valuable coin from that period, but rather a mass-produced reproduction or a souvenir token. While it's a neat find, it does not have any significant monetary value, but it is an interesting piece of historical replica memorabilia. Pink and yellow squares from the plane. Taken somewhere over Ohio? What are the colored squares? These are grow houses for plants. The colored lights are supplemental, grow lights used in large commercial greenhouses. To optimize plant growth, these greenhouses use specific wavelengths of light. Blue light is important for vegetative growth, while red light is crucial for flowering and fruiting. Modern LED grow lights often combine red and blue LEDs, which results in this distinctive and intense pink, purple, or yellowish glow. From an airplane at night, these massive, brightly lit greenhouse complexes are a very striking and colorful sight. This was my grandmother's, and I have no clue what it is. I know it's a pendant, but I don't know the language, and I wonder if it has any significance at all. This looks like the 10 Commandments in Spanish. This is a religious pendant. The tablet shape is meant to represent the stone tablets on which the 10 Commandments were inscribed. The text on the pendant is a summarized version of the commandments, written in Spanish. It is a piece of Christian religious jewelry, worn as an outward expression of faith and as a personal reminder of these core moral and religious laws. What is this attached to my fence? This thing is attached to my and my neighbor's fence, right above an area that gets significant flooding during rain. This is a personal weather monitor, or a small weather station. It is an all-in-one sensor suite that measures various weather conditions. The cups on top are an anemometer for measuring wind speed. The vane is for wind direction. The funnel-like part is a rain gauge for measuring rainfall. It would also likely contain sensors for temperature and humidity. The data it collects would be transmitted wirelessly to a digital display that you would keep inside your house. Found behind my old barn in West Michigan. My property used to be a farm and at one time was a poultry hatchery. I bet this is a couple of links of a kind of flat chain used in old-timey farm machines. This is called steel detachable chain. It was a very common type of chain used on low-speed agricultural equipment, like manure spreaders, seeders, and elevators, from the late 1800s to the mid-1900s. The links are designed to be easily detached by hand, allowing a farmer to change the length of the chain or to make repairs in the field without special tools. The link shows a modern supplier of this classic style of farm chain. In the bottom of my can of corn. What is it? It's a stem or a piece of husk from the corn. During the industrial processing of canned corn, the kernels are mechanically stripped from the cob. While the process is very efficient, it is not uncommon for a small piece of the cob, the stem, or the papery husk to make its way into the final product. It is a harmless piece of vegetable matter that was simply missed during the quality control process. Was cleaning out my carport, and this was there. It seems to have text on the back for registration and a password, so I'm not sharing that. Oh God, I feel old. It's an AOL, America Online, free trial disk. In the 1990s, before broadband internet was common, AOL was the biggest internet service provider in the US. To attract new customers, they carpet-bombed the country with these free trial CDs and floppy disks, which offered a certain number of hours of free dial-up internet access. They were inserted in magazines, sent through the mail, and were available at checkouts. This is a classic piece of nostalgic tech ephemera from the early days of the internet. Found at work. What is it? This is a cigar cutter. Specifically, it looks like a guillotine-style cutter. Before smoking a premium cigar, the cap, which is the closed, rounded end of the cigar that you put in your mouth, must be cut off. The user would insert the end of the cigar into the hole and then squeeze the handles together, causing a sharp blade to slide across and neatly clip off the cap, creating an opening for a smooth draw. They are an essential accessory for any cigar smoker. Saw this on approach to Las Vegas. There are 3 towers with reflections. What is it? This is a solar power facility, but it's not the common photovoltaic type. This is a concentrated solar power, CSP plant, also known as a solar power tower. The large field is covered with thousands of mirrors, called heliostats, that all track the sun and focus its light onto a central receiver at the top of the tower. This concentrated solar energy heats a fluid, often molten salt, in the receiver to an extremely high temperature. This heat is then used to create steam, which drives a turbine to generate electricity, just like in a conventional power plant. What was this tin used for? From the UK. I'm not sure if the central engraving means anything. It belonged to my grandmother. This is a small personal tin, and it was likely used for holding either snuff or pills. Snuff is a form of powdered tobacco that was inhaled, and these small, pocket-sized boxes were very common for carrying it. Alternatively, it could have been used as a pillbox, a small, convenient container for carrying daily medications. The central engraving is a decorative motif, common on these personal accessories from the early to mid-20th century. What is this on the hospital wall? This is high up on the wall above a hand-washing sink in a hospital pre-op room. This is a vacuum breaker, a type of backflow prevention device. It is installed on the water line that feeds a faucet or another fixture. Its purpose is to prevent contaminated water from being siphoned back into the clean, potable water supply in the event of a sudden pressure drop. These are especially critical in a hospital setting to prevent cross-contamination. The link shows a similar HydroGuard brand vacuum breaker, which is commonly used for these applications. I saw these in a corner while out apartment hunting. What are they? The apartment is cheap, so I'm considering moving in, but I need to know if they are harmful first. Bagworm baby. These are the cocoons or cases of the bagworm moth caterpillar. The caterpillar constructs this protective case around itself using silk and bits of plant material from its environment. It lives and feeds from within this case, carrying it around like a snail carries its shell. When it is ready to pupate, it will attach the bag to a surface, like the corner of this building. While the insects themselves are not directly harmful to humans, a heavy infestation can damage trees and shrubs. What is this character? Does anybody know? That is Woody Woodpecker. Woody Woodpecker is a famous and iconic cartoon character, an anthropomorphic woodpecker who appeared in theatrical short films produced by the Walter Lantz Studio and distributed by Universal Pictures from 1940 to 1972. He is known for his brash, zany personality and his trademark laugh. He is one of the classic characters from the golden age of American animation. Found in family pictures of a trip to Germany or Austria. What is it? The building looks like an old windmill without the blades. This is an air raid shelter. Specifically, it is a winkle term. a type of above-ground conical air raid shelter designed by Leo Winkel in Germany in the 1930s. They were built to protect civilians and workers during air raids in World War II. Their unique, pointed, conical shape was designed to deflect bombs, causing them to slide down the side rather than exploding directly on top. The link identifies this specific one as the Winkelturm at the Feuerbach train station in Stuttgart. What brand is this hoodie? I love this hoodie and need to get a new one, but I don't know the brand. The logo is for the brand Ridgewear. This appears to be a brand specializing in outdoor-themed or casual apparel, such as hoodies, t-shirts, and hats, often with designs that appeal to hikers, campers, and those with an appreciation for the mountains and the outdoors. Knowing the brand name is the first step to finding a new one. Yellow thing stuck over my plane wing. What is it? They're for attaching safety ropes during an emergency exit. In the event of a water landing, the emergency exit doors over the wing would be opened. To help passengers safely evacuate onto the slippery wing, the cabin crew would attach a safety line from the inside of the door frame to this anchor point on the wing. This gives passengers a rope to hold onto as they move across the wing to the inflatable slide or life raft. It is a critical piece of the aircraft's emergency equipment. My friend lost a bet and got this tattoo. He won't tell me what is being depicted. Is it a kind of board game? My friend is South Korean. This is a sliding puzzle, also known as a 15 puzzle. It's a classic puzzle that consists of a frame of numbered square tiles, in random order, with one tile missing. The goal is to slide the tiles around, to place them in numerical order. However, as the commenter points out, this tattoo is incorrectly done. For a sliding puzzle to be solvable, it must have one empty space to allow the tiles to move. This tattoo has all the spaces filled, making it an impossible and therefore somewhat ironic puzzle. What is this pipe coming from my basement? I moved in 2 years ago, and this was always tied closed. It looks to be about in line with my main septic line in the basement. The house was built in the 60s, and I have a cesspool. This would have been the exit to a previous septic system. Before the house was connected to the current cesspool or a municipal sewer system, it likely had a different, older septic tank. This pipe would have been the main sewer line leading from the house to that old tank. When the new system was installed, this old line was disconnected and abandoned. It should be properly and permanently capped off by a plumber to prevent any potential issues with radon gas or pests. Probably dumb, but what kind of toilet is it? I work construction, and we are doing this building, and they have toilets or whatever they are, like these, all over the building. These are bedpan washers. They are a specialized plumbing fixture found in hospitals and other healthcare facilities. They are designed for emptying and cleaning bedpans and urine bottles. The fixture has a nozzle that sprays hot water and often a disinfectant to clean and sanitize the bedpan, making the process more hygienic and efficient for healthcare staff. They are a standard piece of equipment for infection control in a clinical setting. This is a stationary streak in the sky. I saw this in a dark sky-forested area in Oklahoma, looking west. It looked like a shooting star, except it wasn't moving. It was there for a few minutes. It is most definitely Starlink satellites. Starlink satellites are launched in a long train. The reason it looks like a solid, stationary streak is due to the viewing angle. If you are looking at the train of satellites nearly head-on or from behind as they move away from you, their movement across the sky will be very slow, making them appear almost stationary. The streak is because the individual satellites are so close together that, from a great distance, they blend into a single line of light. There is black stuff inside my SodaStream drink bottle. What is it? Don't even play around with this stuff. Your health is worth more than a cheap bottle. This is mold. SodaStream bottles, especially if they are not cleaned and dried thoroughly between uses, can be a perfect breeding ground for mold, particularly around the cap and the bottom. The commenter strongly advises to either get a new one or to clean it with extreme thoroughness, possibly using a bottle brush and a bleach solution. The link to the SodaStream subreddit shows this is a common problem if the bottles are not properly maintained. I can't find this lowercase or shaped symbol anywhere. It's being used in a video game to fake someone else's name and be toxic. The second image is what the normal R looks like. It's a Cyrillic letter for G. In many online video games, players will use characters from different alphabets like Cyrillic that look similar to Latin letters in order to create a unique username or, as in this case, to impersonate another player in a way that is hard to report. The lowercase Cyrillic G, can look very similar to a Latin R in some fonts, which is the trick being used here. If you love uncovering strange and mysterious objects, hit that like button and subscribe. Stay curious. More finds coming soon.